Hey everybody, this is Alzorath, and welcome to Invisible Ink. Yes, this is a game that I showed off quite a while back in its early alpha, almost beta stages, right around the early access time, and now it has finally gotten its full release, and boy howdy has a lot of it changed except for the core mechanics. The core mechanics are still very solid and very much a stealth-oriented tactical game. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go through the options, and there's quite a few of them early on. I'm going to include a link in the annotations as well as probably down below if I can. I'm not sure if it'll let me, to just the gameplay if that's what you're interested in, but it's going to be here. So that's how it's going to be. I may do a Let's Play on this. If I do, I'm going to have some options that I wouldn't normally do if I was playing by myself, simply because it's easier to commentate whenever you're not stressing about all the different things, which this game is really good at pushing through to you. So let's go ahead and look at the basic options. You've got your basic, well, options for this kind of game. You got lighting, background effects, and stuff like that. You've got the bloom, which is, yeah, you can see it up there and stuff like that. Nothing really super important. You've got which display you want it on, frame rate, all that lovely jazz. Sliders, you got gameplay, you got fast mode, which increases the animation speeds, which I might turn on for Let's Play purposes if I do that. Maybe, maybe not. It's fast enough as is, but we also got metric data, which allows them to improve stuff like that. I have that enabled because why not? It doesn't collect personal information, so they can have it. You got your manual camera, which allows you to pan, whether automated camera or your manual one goes like that. And you got a few little languages, and there's actually languages in the Steam workshop that you can download and add to the list if you want to see it in other languages. And you have your basic control changes here. This is not the actual options menu I was going to really go on in great detail about. Let's go ahead and click accept. Play game. As you can see, I have two games up here. Let's go ahead and start a new game so we can see the options that I actually do want to show you. You click on play story. And here are the options I'm actually gonna introduce you to. This is the difficulty settings. Yes, whenever you start a game, you get to choose a difficulty. You have all kinds of different difficulty settings. You have things from just your basic beginner, advanced, beginner, experienced, and expert. I believe experienced is the level that is quote-unquote normal, or what the designers intended. Expert is more of a challenge. Beginner is for, well, people who are new to tactics games. We've got expert plus, which is a little bit harder. It hides like danger zones and stuff like that, which we'll get into in just a second. You have endless mode, which is just endless quests. There is no final mission, so you just see how long you can go. You have endless plus, which is the most difficult option settings. Yay. It's not the most difficult you can get it to, though. There's actually more difficult settings that you can set it up to, and I'll show those off in just a second. And you have time attack, which is time limited turns, which I definitely will not do for recording. I apologize, but I don't really need that extra little bit of stress. But you also have custom campaign generation. Yes, you have custom difficulty. Why don't more games have this? I know some games have in the past, but I think this one's really well done, and I really do wish additional games did that. So we're going to actually go through each of these settings, and that's why there's such a huge gap between the beginning of the video and the actual gameplay. Because you have rewinds, which are your ability to rewind not to the turn that you're on, not the beginning of that turn, but to the beginning of the turn before that. Beginning of the turn before what you're currently on. It will rewind, allow you to turn back time to the beginning of your previous turn. That's what it says. If you set it to 0, it's Iron Man mode, which means any mistakes you make are permanent. Level retries is basically an ability for you to retry a given level if you fail. And turning this on is highly recommended if you're fairly new to games like this. Even if you're not new to games like this, I would honestly have it on your first time through, but maybe turn it off your second or third time through whenever you know more about what to expect. Gameplay has not changed greatly from the previous version that I covered, but the base mechanics and the difficulty has actually been ramped up just a little bit, which I highly appreciate. Auto increment alarm is whenever you're progressing through the level, you'll have a number of stages for each alarm level. And auto increment alarm is default on for all of the difficulty settings. You can, however, turn it off. This basically makes it so that the turns you use don't really matter as much in terms of what enemies are going to be spawning. If you turn it off, you can stay at level 0 alarms for the entire match if you are really smart about it. And that's actually a challenge that I like doing for myself. I have one save that has this off just for that purpose, to see how far I can get without raising any alarms or being spotted. And with it on, you're probably going to be beating missions closer to, say, alarm stage 3, which means more guys are going to be cropping up, more things are going to be active, such as cameras and stuff like that. And the cameras activating is actually to your benefit, because you can take control of them. But for now, let's go ahead and turn that one off. We can turn it on, whatever. I actually am going to go to another save for the gameplay segment. Campaign hours is how long it takes for the final mission to show up, 72 hours. This is in-game time, not real time, so you will pass this a lot quicker. I got through about 24 hours, give or take, within an hour of playing. So yeah, you can get through 72 hours in a few hours. If you want a really short game, you can drop it down to 24. And that is pretty interesting. I'm not sure whether I'd be able to beat it after just 24 hours, because you do unlock things with missions, and you do get further along. Mission start power, you can set your starting incognita power at the beginning of the level with this. This is the power that incognita has to hack things and cause various effects. We'll get more into that into the gameplay section. Alarm stages. Every 5 increments of the alarm, corporate security will increase. Each level introduces new dangers. Setting this option to easy means the first level of security will have no dangerous effect. Basically, it delays all the negative effects. I leave it on normal, simply because, well, normal is how you're supposed to play it. And credit multiplier, again, I prefer to play how the designers intended, so I usually leave it at 1, but you can actually set it up so that any credits you normally would get are doubled or halved, or various stages in between. You have guards per level, which you can set to less guards, which makes for an easier mission because you have less people to take care of. And if you knock it down to if it gets down to just 2 guards on one level, you're going to have a situation where you can just tote their bodies around and keep them knocked out permanently, which I have ran into before, so I set it to normal instead. And usually that means there's like 3, and if the alarms go up, it's closer to 4 or 5. So it's reasonable. Safeguard patrols means that if you have this ticked on, the guards will not enter your original starting area unless they're alerted or something like that, and they prefer not to cross across open rooms. So that is a good and bad option. It can make it significantly easier to have that ticked on rather than off. Additional KO time is how long they're knocked out from your stuns, which you start with the stun gun on each of your characters, and it's a melee function, so you have to sneak up on them and zap them in the butt, and they get knocked out. If you set it to 99, they stay knocked out for pretty much the entire mission. Of course, I would wager that, considering it says plus 99, that's not actually permanent. I've never had a mission go to 100 rounds, and that's with getting all the safes and all that stuff. I've never had to get quite to there. So additional KO time, you can set it to 0. Plus 1 is okay as well, and both of these are a reasonably satisfying experience. If you set it down to -1, you might have a little bit more challenge. Alarm when guards are KO'd. There's a function in this called a heart monitor, which basically, if a guard is killed, the alarm will go up because his heart monitor goes out. This one, if you enable it, makes the alarm go up even if they're just knocked out by your little taser. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. It makes it a lot harder to get through levels without losing somebody, because the alarm will be ramping up much faster as you have to knock out targets to get to, well, the goal of the mission sometimes. So kind of an important thing. Danger zones is a red and yellow tile system on the ground, which basically allows you to understand where enemies are watching and where they can see, even if you can't see the enemy. I personally would recommend leaving this enabled, because there are times whenever you'll come across an enemy and you won't be able to see him until you're like right in the middle of his cone of fire, in which case you're pretty much doomed. And that's just a matter of the peeking system not really showing you as much of the area as it otherwise would in some other games. So being this being a stealth game, it's kind of important for it to keep that little realm of mystery. I do recommend keeping the show danger zones on unless you're in for a little bit of a masochistic experience there. You have allow melee while seen. This means if you're right in front of the enemy and they see you, you can still knock them out. Whereas if you have this turned off, you can't melee them unless you're behind them. So basically you have to sneak up on them and melee them if this is off. kind of important thing there. Increased final resistance is the increased difficulty on the final mission. Corporations have a number of tricks up their sleeves to put your agents in danger. With this option off, the corporations lose one of their more dangerous security mechanisms. I haven't gotten to the end stage with this on. I don't know exactly what that entails, but I may include an annotation as to that, or possibly even cover it in a video later on if I decide to do an LP of this game, which would be a little bit of a short LP, more in line with, say, Dungeon of the Endless. Alarm multiplier, it basically multiplies the increments of the alarm. Basically, if you have it at 1, the alarm will go up for 1 for each normally 1 increment effect. Whereas if you have it set to 5, it's going to go up by 5 for each alarm incrementing effect. That's hard to say, but yeah, I leave it at 1 because that's kind of how it's intended. You can actually set it to 0, so it will never go up, I think. So yeah, that's kind of weird, but certain events during the game will cause this alarm to move up 1 or more bars. This setting will multiply the number of bars any event triggers. Alarm multipliers times 5 will cause the alarm to go up by 5 when discovered by camera, or 10 when a guard is killed. So that's like 2 alarm stages up, which is God almighty crazy. Yeah. I'm curious about the 0, because that means that the alarm would never go up. Kind of an interesting thing. I can only imagine the games with auto increment alarm off and that set to 0 being quite cheesy. Starting money, normal is 500. You can set it up to 10,000 starting credits, which will allow you to buy so many things and upgrade your agents so very far that's a little bit scary. You have consoles per level, which is these bottom 4, well, yeah, these 4 options here before the very bottom are all procedural generation effects. It allows you to actually affect how the levels are generated. Consoles per level is the number of consoles that will give you power to Incognita, which is an important aspect to hacking and various effects that she can do. Normal will give you a normal spawn rate, whereas you can have a ton or, well, none spawning, which means you're reliant purely on the drip feed. Now, safes per level is the number of safes you'll have on each level. You can have a lot or none as well. You can control the number of rooms. Now, this function doesn't dictate that, hey, there's going to be exactly 8 rooms or exactly 10 rooms. Instead, it's going to aim for producing, say, if we have it on 10, it's going to aim to produce 10 rooms. Now, 2 rooms can join together in 1 large room. So you could have, say, 7 rooms total, but yeah, 2 of those rooms could be extra large or something like that. And actually, yeah, it'd be 3 of them, I think. I'm not doing the math well in my head, and I'm not going to do that right now. So, yeah. 8 rooms would be 2 large rooms. So, yeah, that's kind of how it works. I haven't experimented too much with, like, the 20 end of it. I have experimented with 8 and 10. I am tempted to do 20 to see if it makes for some interesting levels. I would definitely turn off the auto increment alarm if I went up to 20 on there, though. And I'd probably make that an endless run, just for the challenge of it, I think. Daemon quantity is kind of against you. Daemons are basically counter hacks. So as Incognita's trying to hack something, daemons will counter hack her, allowing it to cause various effects, either calling guards or blinding you from other daemons, or possibly even raising alarm level and stuff like that. That's just what the daemon quantity does. It has various effects, and it's pretty interesting. I do like the daemon effect, so that you have to decide whether it's actually worth it to hack something. Like, if you want to just hack the turret that doesn't have a daemon on it, leave the power supply alone, that's one thing you can do. If you'd rather hack the power supply that has a daemon on it, but it's going to call another guard, that's another option you can take. But there's a lot of things that you have to work through on that one. Time attack mode is, we're going to turn that one off. Time attack mode is basically turn limits. You have ranging from 30 seconds to do an entire turn to 5 minutes. Not going to use that on any of my playthroughs on YouTube, but I'm probably going to use it on some private playthroughs. It does increase the stress of it quite a bit, especially since if you're running with the auto increment alarm on, you're actually going to be running into a situation where you're not only fighting a real clock, you're fighting the turn ticker as well. So yeah, craziness. But let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and jump forward and hop into one of the saves that I already have. I'm going to show off some of the gameplay, and we're going to go through a level real quick. So I will be right back. And here we are at the gameplay. Those of you that skipped ahead, welcome to it. And those of you that watched through the options menu, thank you for sticking it through. Because I honestly find the options menu quite interesting as far as the actual settings for the campaigns that you can choose. It's very lovely. But anyway, we are going to be showing off first the hub, and then we're going to be going into an actual mission here. This is the current version of the hub, the final version, the release version, which I actually really do like. I like this a lot better than the base idea they were knocking around. This just seems a lot more useful to me, a lot more interesting. But you can, of course, upgrade your agents. Currently, we are broke in this mission, but we bought a hand cannon and got a few upgrades. Nothing too amazing, but what you can do here is you can spend these credits to either buy things from Monster, which we currently don't have anything to buy. He doesn't really sell things as often as I thought he would, but we also have the ability to spend on our stats. Now, it just costs money to upgrade our stats, and it tells you exactly what they do down below, which I really do appreciate. You do have the speed stat, which allows you to move faster, and you have a boost sprint speed. Sprint is basically a loud movement, so you're not going to be wanting to use it very often, but you can move quite a bit further with it. It's good for escaping a level in a rush. You have your hacking ability, which boosts your ability to get increased power from a console hijack, which at level 5... I believe it gives you 7 power from one console, something like that. It's a fairly high amount. If you started with that 10,000 credits, you'd be able to get that fairly quickly. Strength modifier allows you to drag bodies and carry more items without becoming encumbered. As you can see, you have blackened out squares, and then you have red squares. Red squares are encumberment, and that reduces your AP each turn. So yeah, you don't want to be encumbered while moving around because that will slow you down and decrease the actions you can take. So that's useful. And so is the drag speed, actually. Drag speed allows you to pull off little tricks as far as keeping enemies KO'd, because you can actually drag one body on top of another and stand there while pinning both of them, keeping them both from waking up from a KO. So that's useful, especially whenever you get more characters. Anarchy is theft. You're able to steal from knocked out guards, steal from behind, steal and increase credits, and then finally at the final level you actually have an increased chance of finding items on the guards that you steal from. Anarchy seems like the least useful of the stats. Strength is fairly useful. I usually go almost exclusively for speed and hacking with a little bit of strength. I just tend to ignore the anarchy, although there are items that can utilize anarchy to an extent, such as an EMP and stuff like that. So, yay. Gonna go ahead and go back to mission select, and here's how the mission select looks. You can actually see basically the difficulty of the guards. This is a fairly early on one, so you notice that they're all 1s and 2s. As far as the difficulties, you'll see the difficulty to the right of the name, as well as the flight time. This is why I say getting to those 24 hours is pretty easy, because you can fly halfway across the map and it'll take you 12 hours. So, or you can come to the close one that's only 6 hours away. Pretty useful. You can see your achievements. You can go back to the menu. Let's go ahead and see what nanofab is. Gain access to a wide variety of counterfeit goods. You'll need enough credits to make use of this. Okay. Currently don't really have a lot of credits, so that's not really an ideal one for me. You have the detention centers, which allow you to get, well, other characters or possibly high ransom targets. Kind of varies. If you're lucky, you'll find another agent there. You have a cybernetics lab, which, if memory serves, will actually allow you to improve your characters. Yeah, it allows us to apply augments. The machines at this location will provide you the opportunity to install an augment for free or enhance an agent with an additional augmentation socket. Last time I did that, it got me a stealth augment and an extra slot for one of my characters, which is really nice. And you have Vault, which will allow you to... Vaults hold credits and art objects that can be sold. Vault access cards will open doors to greater riches. Currently, we do not have Vault access cards. That is a type of mission you can get, but in this particular playthrough, I was unable to get them. This is just my opening luck. More missions will open up later, where we'll possibly be able to get these Vault keys. So let's go ahead and we'll jump after the detention center, because we can get a extra agent, which is really useful and really important. So if we come over to this one, we're not too sure who they're holding here, but Intel shows they have high value, blah, blah, blah. Let's go ahead and infiltrate and jump on in. As far as cinematics, I'm not going to show them in this playthrough, but they are fairly decent quality. They're not great, but the animation quality is good. The 3D graphics, not so much in my opinion. Like, the world isn't as great as the characters. The characters are very stylized and very, very nicely designed. So let's go ahead and click and jump on in. And this is going to be your normal teleport in. You're going to teleport into a starting room. We can recon the detention center and get out alive as our main goals. And our secondary objectives are usually to steal corporate credits. So that's what we're doing right now. We can exchange what's in our hands, but no real point to it just yet. Let's go ahead and peep out the door. We've got a console there, and we've got a locked door here, which we can actually peek through. We just can't do anything with. Let's go ahead and hijack those. There's the nano fabricator, not going to be too useful to us. So let's go ahead and head back, and we're going to be trying to go through this door, I believe. And turn. We're not going to see anything too early on. We're going to see the security level increment there. And I believe that's going to be a dead end down there, if I had to guess. Let's peek around the corner. Yeah, dead end. So yeah, we've got to just go through here and explore as best we can. Nothing too amazing there. We can hack a corporate safe and secondary server terminal. And there we go. We're just hacking all kinds of things. We don't need to hack the nano fabricator because, well, we don't really need it. And let's see what that has. We can actually get improvements to our AI, the Incognito, which is kind of a nod back to the original name of the game, which was Incognito. We have Wisp, tag all visible guards, and Ping to make a noise. Ping is very useful. If we have the money later on, I'll probably come back for that. And we're going to go ahead and move in here. Ooh, we got some stuff we can get some more power from. And let's go ahead and we will hijack that and that. You can only store up to 20 power, so you might as well use it as soon as you can. And that's really not giving us much in the way of view. That's usually not that crappy. So, onwards we go to end turn. You can do almost all of the controls here with the keyboard. And we're hearing guys move around. That guy's vantage point is... we don't want to kill him. Let's see. Let's go ahead and alt screen, which allows us to see various things. We're not going to get over here just yet, but we can get back there later on. Instead, we're going to peep through this door and see what we can see. And you're going to peep through that one. Anything really useful in there? A corporate safe, it's kind of useful. Let's go ahead and run in there. We'll grab all the money we can. Okay, and you're going to go ahead and open the door and peek the rest of the way through, because opening the door will allow you to see a little bit more, so it's kind of an important thing. Let's go ahead and hack that power supply, and we will turn it on, because we don't want him coming through there just yet. And we can go ahead and hack the corporate safe. Down to 1 power left. We're going to have to wait for some more to come in. And I think that's going to be most of our moves here. Yep. Enter. We want to keep that on just so he doesn't wander through. Oh, when we were spotted. Agent activity. That guy's on Overwatch. We can't really help him from here. Okay, he's peeking around the corner there. I think we can get out of his viewpoint. Oh, nope, he's going to shoot him. That killed him.
Get that agent back on their feet, operator. We need all hands on deck.
Intruder down.
And that just boosted the security level. I'm not doing my best on this mission just because, well, yeah, I'm trying to commentate while doing it, and it's distracting me from, like, smart tactics. Oh, hi, guy. Alarm level 1. Hi. How you doing? We can kill you. Alarm +2. Yay. So now he's dead. So that's boosting the alarm up. We need to start getting to our target immediately. Let's go ahead and run over here. Yeah, that's the guy we want to steal from. Do we want to steal from our own guy is the question. Nope, is he dead? He's dead. Let's go ahead and take that as well. That sucks that he's dead. Let's see. Let's run up here. We will grab that and be on our way as far as that one goes. We need to find... Let's go ahead and go into Overwatch. Oh, we don't have enough to go into Overwatch. Enter. Means the guy's probably going to run over there and start spotting it. You are just around the corner there, aren't you? Can you kill him from there? No. Enter.
Someone's down. Calling it in.
No, you're not. But that is going to boost security level to 2. Additional cameras activated. Boom. More security cameras for us. Let's go ahead and run down here. We'll steal what he's got. Don't need the level 1 security pass card because we're going to be moving through pretty much as quickly as possible. 3 power from there. Let's go ahead and close this door. And we will switch to Overwatch with the stunner here. Let's see. Hack that security camera. Is that going to give us a little bit more view? No, it's really not. I have a feeling the room that we want to go to is the one up here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and move down here. We'll grab that as well. Come on, grab that. And let's see. We'll peep through this one first. That's the exit. Okay, more guys are going to spawn soon. So we need to peek through here, make sure there's nothing in there. There isn't. And then we'll run down here and start taking care of this. End turn. Got 2 more turns before more security guards show up. Let's go here. Okay.
Incognita has detected an agent currently logged as MIA. They would be an incredible asset if you can get them back on the team.
Okay, can we kill the security guard? Okay, more guys are going to spawn. Okay, data security enhanced, close incognita. Let's go ahead and close that door, and we're going to switch to that, I believe. Enter. He's going to go ahead and investigate the body. It's going to come up there, and okay. And turn. He's going to come through the door. And we're going to zap the crap out of him. I love that. Let's go ahead and open the cell doors and we can get our agent out. We lost one, but we gained one. This is worse than pretty much any mission has ever gone for me before anyway. So let's go ahead and get you armed. Okay. You guys are going to exchange. You're going to give her the neural disruptor that's not janky. And you are going to run down here. And no, can you not get to him? No, you can't. We're not going to really worry about it. You're just going to loot this body up here. Yeah, we'll take your cred chip. Okay. Just got to keep moving. We got to get out of here now. Can you get his loot? Yeah, that's going to help out just a little bit. Let's go ahead and have you move there. You are going to go ahead and go into... Oh, you don't have the resources to go into ambush mode. And turn. Cobra's brought one more guard to patrol. So he's gonna jump in at the very top, which is good for us. That means that we still have more time to get out. You're gonna have to keep moving. You are gonna have to take out the guard if he comes through there and turn. All the other guards are dead, so yeah, he's gonna be on fairly high alert. Get her on ambush just to watch that door, and pretty much getting out of here is going to be the biggest challenge, because as you notice, the security level goes up quite a bit as over the course of a mission, especially whenever you're going a little bit slow. A little bit slow like I am. And I keep getting distracted by the voices. I'm not turning the volume down for it, but let's go ahead and have you come over here. You're going to shut that door and get into ambush mode. In turn, and this guy won't try to come through here because the lasers, well, they'll kill him. That's the entire point of lasers in this game. And we get out of here. We lost a guy, unfortunately, but we got our bodies out of here. Is he not dead? Are we going to be rescuing? Is this going to turn into a rescue mission? Let's go ahead and get up here. Okay, he's not in that hallway there. You're going to be in ambush mode in case he does come through that doorway. Let's try to get... Oh, God. Nope, we're getting out of here. Sorry, Decker, you're dead. I can't go back to rescue him against an elite guy. I can't penetrate his armor. That's just how this mission's going to end up going, unfortunately. Let's get you the heck out of Dodge. Yep, we're out. Continue.
Nice work, operator.
Sorry, Decker. Yeah, we don't leave people behind. We just left somebody behind. I should probably redo that mission off screen, but that's basically how a mission plays out in Invisible. I hate that Decker's MIA. I really do hate that. We got Banks though, and I've never actually used Banks, so that's an interesting thing. Let's see what Banks is. She's not too bad. Crypto computer quantum descrambler implanted in Banks' cranium makes short work of most encryption, unlocks level 1 security doors without a pass card. That's actually useful. I like that one. These two are... she's basically a lot better than Decker. So, yay, we'll go with that. Don't really care about the anarchy stat, but yay, let's go back to mission select. It's going to go to day 2. Yep, next. We'll go ahead and skip through this dialogue. Yeah, we got into the 24 hours segment, so we're on to day 2. Gonna go ahead and skip through the dialogue there, and you see that new missions have popped up as we're trying to find the location of the headquarters, and the guard levels are going up, which makes them more difficult. So that's kind of how this game plays out. If you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I will think about doing an LP of this game, but for now I just wanted to show off that yes, it has changed significantly since my Gamer Fi episode covering its early versions. So yeah, keep gaming, have fun, peace out. This has been Alzorath. Bye.